Good evening. I'm Ron, and welcome everyone to today's Dharma Talk. Is anybody here for the first time? Hey, what's up, guys? We have a few announcements before we start. If you haven't already silenced your cell phones, please do so, and also silence your alarms. And put your phones away so you can be fully present for the talk and meditation. If you must use your phone, please do so outside the meditation hall. We invite you to join us for our weekly Tuesday events with Medicine Buddha Practice at 6 p.m. and our public talk at 7 p.m. Next week, for our Tuesday evening talk, Geshe Phende will continue speaking on the 37 practices of a Bodhisattva. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., the Drepung Loseling monks conduct evening prayers for His Holiness, the Dalai Lama's long life, and the long life of other teachers. On Thursdays at 4:30 p.m., the Loseling monks conduct the Protector Puja for smooth journeys, success of interviews and medical treatments, new businesses, etc. Deepen your practice with the intermediate series led by Geshe Phende, starting Saturday, July 25th on Zoom. Held once a month through November, this course explores essential Mahayana Buddhist teachings and meditations. This series is designed for those who have already completed our foundation series. As a reminder, please do not park on the grass along the driveway or behind the building. If the lot is full, overflow parking can be found via Skyland Drive at the John Lewis Elementary School outside of school operating hours. Only access the school parking via Skyland Drive and walk through to our site. Information on all events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If anyone is interested in volunteer opportunities to get more involved in supporting our center and programs, please see me or our volunteer coordinator, Michael Duffel, who's in the orange shirt in the back. If you are interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses and retreats, applications are available in the library. You can also register online. There is a donation box near the entrance to this room. Your generous support helps us continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online platforms. Now please stand as we invite our resident teacher, Geshe Phende to come in for today's practice.
Okay, now first we're going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. Tayata gati gati paragati parasam Gate Bodhisoha Dayata Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate 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 Bodhisoha. Now next is the four immeasurables. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. Now next, the mandala offering. Hoi sa shi pi ki chun shi me to chama ri rava li shi ni de ge empati Sangye Shinto Me Te Pu Waye Doi Gui Nama Dai Shin La Chue Pa Sho Yidam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniya Taya Me. So the teaching today, the text is the 37 practices of Bodhisattva. So practice number 21 today. First I'm going to recite in Tibetan. Debe yunde lensai chutanta chizam chejang siba pejo pewarjur kanla shenja kebe ngubunam tela pongpa jase laglenis. Sensual pleasures are like salt water. The more you indulge, the more thirst increases. Abandon at once those things which breed clinking attachments. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So the last time we talked about dealing with anger. Today the topic is transforming your attachment into the practice or into the path. Another word is how to stop or reduce your attachments. So first, in order to apply the what you call antidote attitude towards your attachments, first you need to understand this attachment, the mind, what they are functioning, right? What is the benefit or what is the result of these attachments? According to Buddhist psychology, attachment is one of the what you call dangers, negative emotions, which creating so much the problems. Anger, usually it is called three poison mind, three poisons, which are attachment, anger, and the ignorance. So these three minds, which usually we call three poison minds, all of these three are really danger, but specific attachment is quite important to know how dangerous this emotion is. Anger may be quite easy to understand, right? Or anger is not good, it hurts you, it hurts to other people. But the majority of people think attachment is good, or attachment brings unity, or attachment can create better relationship. So they never think attachment is the causes of suffering. That is why the majority of people will never ever apply any antidote to the attachments. We do not have desire to change, to reduce the attachment. Instead of that, we always, in order to stay unity, harmony, and a better relationship, we're always thinking we need the attachment. So that is why we try to, increase more attachments. So, but I mentioned, according to the Buddhist psychology, attachment is one of the most the danger, the emotion. Specific to the 21st century, the many people has kind of the mental pain and suffering, for instance, stress or fear or worry, right? Depressions, anxiety. Most of these mental pains are created by attachment. So that is why it is really, really important for the Buddhist practitioner, one of the first, when we apply, to deal with the destructive emotion, we always first try to reduce our attachments. That's the first practice we're learning this. As what you call the monks, the audience, right? Monks and nuns. So when you take, monk or nun, doesn't mean you put the robe, monk's robes or nun's robe. That doesn't mean you are monk and nun. So in the general people always be thinking, external. You put the monk's robe and something, oh, he's monk, she's nun. But actually, it's not based on the robe. It's mainly based on vow. When you when you become a monk, you have to take the vow. It's called the monastic vows. So we have novice vow, we have full audience vow, right? For the lay practitioner, they also have lay vows, 5 precepts of the vows. So all of these vows, which is called Patimoksha vow, which means the fundamental intention to take this vow, fundamental intention is renunciation, mainly the renunciation. So renunciation, what does that really means? What is the opposite of the renunciation? The opposite of the renunciation is the attachment, which attach to the mundane pleasures, right? Which is called samsara pleasure. So which are the pleasure of money, power, right? Positions, or fame, reputations. So as ordinary people, we have so much attached, right? To the money, to the power, to the one's own fame and reputation, or to the positions, right? Or to the any possessions. So all of these materialistic, mundane, that's called the mundane pleasures. So majority, rather I think entire beings, we suffer by the attachment which is attached to this samsara pleasure. So renunciation is absolutely opposite of this attachment, right? Who renounce all this mundane pleasure, renounce those mundane pleasures, right? Seeking oneself freedom of that attachment, freedom of this destructive emotion, that kind of desire called renunciation. So renunciation practice is the what you call a very important realization who leads you to the person, right, leads them to the liberation, right, which calls the cessations of the samsara. So when we say, I am liberated, you liberate from where? We liberate from samsara, right, mundane. So that liberation, who leads there? Right? Who will take you there? Renunciation. Renunciation is the one. So that is why the first, as a practitioner, we always try to cultivate, develop the renunciation. So when you meditate on renunciation, main obstacle is the attachment. So attachment is the mind who's showing happiness as a human beings, right? All of us has innate natural desire, which is wish to be happy, right? Everybody wants that. That desire is called innate, natural. It means that kind of desire is not influenced by culture, religion, society. It's just by birth. Everybody has. We always want to be happy. But what is that happiness? That's the real problem. So happiness, which means what? Of course, we want to be happy, but what is the happiness? That is why the attachment is the one who take these opportunities and show you completely different happiness. So when the person who dominate by attachment, for you, happiness, which means becoming rich, right? Being a rich is the happiness. Being a famous is the happiness. Or being a powerful person as a happiness. So that's why ordinary people, general people, our goal of happiness, which means material, either rich, either famous, power, position, that's how we're looking, right? So therefore, that is we keeping this as our main goal. Therefore, the education system today we have, the skill, right, which we're learning today, any methods, anything we learn is for sake of becoming famous, becoming powerful person. That's how we do, majority people. Now question is, if being a rich, is that the real happiness? That means whoever become a rich should be happiest person, right? Whoever become famous should be one of the happiest person, right? But it is not, right? It is really not. There are number of rich people, number of famous people ended up with loneliness, suffering of loneliness, suffering of depression, right? And some of them ended up with drugs addiction, alcoholism. Some, unfortunately, they ended up with commit suicide, right? Suicide doesn't mean always be poor or no food. There are some even quite rich, quite famous, ended up with this overdose, right? And before number of those, what you call celebrity, right? When you look at their life, they ended up with too much drugs, too much alcohol, right? That's how they passed away. If they really satisfy their life, if they're really happy, who will going to use the drugs? Who will going to use? If they full satisfy what they are, what they have, they will not going to use these things, right? Using drugs and all of these things, something they are not satisfied. They are not happy. So they are looking to become happy. So that's how they choose these things and then ended up with all these problems. So we should learn what we think today, and not only yourself, what you call our environment is like that, right? Everybody is saying, oh, rich means happiness, right? Or being a famous is the happiness. That kind of environment which we are today. Whatever we see, whatever we hear, it's all about that. Entire. That's why it influenced to you, right? Oh, in order to become successful, happiest person, I have to have money. I have to have power. That's how it's kind of influence and external. That's called samsara. Living in the environment is like that, it influences you. So now, as a smart person, understanding what is your main purpose, right, of being human or born into these realms is for happiness. But today you are thinking something do these are really happiness or not? You need to research these things, right? The majority of people saying money is the happiness, the powers is the happiness. Is that really happiness? Is this the real peace? Is this the real happiness or not? You need to investigate, right? So in the past, many scholars, they research these things. For instance, Buddha Shakyamuni, right, as a founder of Buddhism, he's himself born into royal family, right? One of the richest person during that time. Power he has, money he has, reputation, fame, everything. He has these things. He lived with this kind of luxury life till age of 29, right? Even he married, he has wife and son and hundreds of servants, right, with him, living with that kind of luxury life. But still not satisfied, not fully satisfied the life. So research these things. It's for happiness. Now you have all of these things, but still not happy. That means this is something wrong. So what is the happiness? That's how they research these things, right? Himself, what he found it. And he found it, what is the happiness? He found it, how he should achieve that happiness himself, research, found it, experiment, he reached that kind of ultimate happiness. After him, he gave this information to his disciple and spread it, he shared to the others. After him, many scholars, right, first, second, third centuries, many scholars did that same research, and they found it. This material happiness is not the true happiness. This is just for showing you, just for temporary, but these are not real happiness. So this misunderstanding, how we still not understanding, why we still not knowing these are not true happiness? Because of your attachments. These attachments are the one cover, right, your mind to not seeing the reality. What is the truth? So the attachment is the comes who project it. Oh, this is happiness. What? Money, power, all these mundane pleasures. So people who live with this kind of attachment or who influenced by these attachments, then way of they believe is becoming wrong. The decisions, because decision comes from one's own mind. When you have wrong understanding, wrong perception, your decision turn into the wrong, right? Mistake. Wrong decision, then what you're going to do? You choose the action. So your actions come from your decision. Your action turn into the wrong, mistake. You act wrong, you ended up to the wrong place, which is called samsara in Buddhist term. It's the suffering of cycle existence, right? So nobody push us into this complicated life. We are the people who are circled in samsara means who are circled in suffering, complicated, complicated life. But who put us into that complicated? Not anything's outside there. Our attachments. Your attachments is the one who leads you to the complicated, painful life. That's called samsara. So therefore, in order to overcome, in order to stop that, to against that, you need to change your attachments. Right? There's no other solution. Attachment is there. As long as you have these attachment addictions, then it doesn't matter how much you try, eventually this attachment will take you over. So that is why we need to change. But in order to stop your attachment, first you need to really understand these attachment, how much it creates suffering, painful life toward oneself, right? That's why the first line, sensual pleasures are like salt water, right? Salt water, what that mean? If you drink it salt water, actually salt water is for, we drink the water for reduce the thirsty, right? Salt water, you drink it, you become more thirsty. You drink more, you have to need more that water, salt water, because it never, ever overcome suffering of thirsty. It creates you more thirsty, right? Similarly, the attachments. Attachment, when you have attachment to any objects, because of these attachment, you need more and more. You never ever satisfy what you have. You never satisfy. You have, maybe you make $100, next time you want to make more, $200. Right? You have 200, you want to have more and more and more. It never ended. I always mention, when you do not have anything, you become homeless, right? In your mind, just simple one house, bedroom or living room, just same one room, right? Or just having one little house is for you, this is like a heaven. That kind of your dream. You got it. You work, you got it. Now you have this home, right? First, very happy. Slowly, when you stay there longer, then your mind is thinking now, oh, I need separate living room. My bedroom is blah, blah. Now you add it. It's too small. It's this, that. You have many excuses to have one spare room for living room or kitchen, right? Then slowly you work hard, then you make a money, you got it, one extra room. For the few days you enjoy it. Slowly, oh, I need another room for something else. That's how you increase. Even maybe you may have 5 rooms now. One kitchen, one living room, one bedroom, right? One dining room. Then you also need one room for my friend who visit. So we need one for the guest house. You put it there. Increase. Now you are happy? Still not. Oh, we need another house for other place. So one house on the top of the mountain, one house beside the beach, right? Beach. Then even you own 2 houses, still not yet, not enough. You need another. Even you have 10 houses, still not enough. It's how it is, this attachment. It's very deep. It can really, destroying you. Slowly you become very rich. Even you becoming, like for instance, king of this world, right? If that's possible. Even you become king of this world, you're still not satisfied, right? Or we need to look at some kind of other planet. Is there any other planet to control them? What is in there? Or send some things there to check it in there. Like, really never satisfied. It's need more and more and more. So sometimes when you look into some very rich people, as a poor person, when you look, why they need so much things? That's how we think that moment. But when you become that same person, exactly you want that same thing. Exactly. Because of that attachment is the one. Slowly it changes you. Most of our difficult life, it creates by our attachments. Give you simple another example. Maybe first time you are very poor, you don't have that much. Even you go to the coffee shop, you just drink a simple coffee. Maybe 1 cup is 50 cents coffee. You enjoy it. Slowly, slowly, your coffee, little bit better. 1 cup is $1, right? Slowly, slowly, $3 of the cup. Slowly, $5, right? Eventually, even that's not enough. Maybe even 1 cup of the coffee, maybe you have to pay $20, $50, right? That kind of coffee, expensive. It's going like that. Simple 50 cents to jump to all the way $50 coffee now, right? That means what? Your life becoming more expensive now. Before you making maybe even $2,000, you have enough for saving even. Now, even you make $5,000 per month, not enough. Because everything becomes expensive. Coffee, $50, right? So each day, $50, 1 month, how much? Right? 1,500, it's already gone there. Your simple dress, maybe before one t-shirt, maybe $5 or something. Now you have to wear the t-shirt on even just simple t-shirt, $20, $30, right? Become expensive. Simple food, before $10 for 1 plate of food, now after $50 the plate. Everything makes your life more expensive. So when you're becoming more expensive life, you have to spend more, right? In order to spend more, you have to make more money now, right? That's how it is. Now, not enough time. Worry. Even you make $5,000, not fully happy. You constantly worry, oh, this month I cannot pay my bill because it's not enough money. Before $2,000, you are very happy. You can still save. Now, become more expensive. And that at the moment you drink, you looks like enjoy it. Surface there. Deeper level, constantly worry. Fear, right? You have to make more money. Constantly worry. Constantly fear. Those fears and worries are there constantly. That makes your mind unhappy, right? Unhappy-minded. Deep there. It's constantly remain there. Remain with very unhappy-minded. What is going to do? As a result of that, you become very short-tempered, easily become angry. Small things when they're going wrong, you become really angry. The Shantideva, right, the Master Shantideva says that mental unhappiness is the fuel of your anger, right? The guide of Bodhisattva way of life, the text called, very smart teacher, Shantideva, 8th century. He says, mental unhappiness is the fuel of your anger. Means, if you have a foot of anger there, right, then you become very easy to become angry. They're feeding you. So that's why when you become more easy, short-temper, this family becoming more fighting, more problem, more within the family has more problems. So in the day-to-day life, not that much happy, too much drama, too much fighting. So what's the matter? You wear before $5 of t-shirt, now you wear $50 of t-shirt, but before your family is harmony, laughing, enjoying. Now that environment's completely changed. You wear more fancy thing, but this beautiful environment is gone. It's too much negative environment, right? It's too much drama in that environment. Whole family members suffer constantly, right? That's how it is. Eventually, sometimes it's going much worse, right, in the families. So all of that started from where? Where they started. You simple, happy life to very expensive, complicated life to change into simple, happy to complicated, expensive. Who changed that? Nobody there. Attachment. Attachment is the one they change you. So this is very, very important to know that, most of our mental issues, the problem, the attachment is the one who creates you very different expectation, very high expectation, attachment. So when you have high expectation, what is going to do? Remain with high expectation, very difficulty to experience the joy, pleasure, very difficult, because your expectation is too high. So you don't get these things. So you are not happy, constantly not happy that much. People give you as a gift. Whatever they give you gift is for sake of happiness. So this gift, how much makes you happy, is not because of the gift itself, is how much its value. It's not based on that value. It's the receiver's expectation. If you have very low expectation, if somebody give you even the simple right gift, you never expect that, just receive that gift, makes you tremendous happy, appreciate, so much joy, right? You have a very high expectation gift. Even somebody give you quite fancy gift, but you never feel that much joy. Why you don't feel joy? Because your expectation is too high. The gift you receive is not there. It's much lower than your expectation. That's why I'm not happy. So sometimes you look at these little got to call these little babies, baby, or you can say baby. Yeah, 5, 10, 5 age, 10 age, right? So sometimes the parents too much spoil them. They buy new toy, give them quite fancy toy, even sometimes give them. Is baby don't have that much joy. After a few seconds, just throw it out. It didn't give them joy, but they already have high expectation. The children who never receive any gift, right? Just one very cheap, simple gift you give them, their children feel so much happy, appreciated. Give this gift, toy, every day, play. They receive tremendous happiness. with this simple toy. Very long. It's not based on the toy, how good it is, right? It's the individual receiver's expectation. So expectation comes from attachments. Too much attachment have too much high expectation. Then you will not happy. Right? Some people, when you go to the restaurant or wherever, same food, somebody feels so much happy, somebody not at all, because of they have different expectation. So my main point is having too much attachment, too much high expectation. What they're going to do, this attachment, high expectation blocks you to feel joy, pleasure. It will block. It disturbs you. That is why, according to the Buddhist psychology, attachments are the obstacle, negative minds, creating problem, destroy one's own happiness. And the majority are always telling, living in the society, we have our own rule, right? We have to follow this certain rule. Because of it's nothing, nobody force you. We follow this rule because of you attached to your fame, your reputation in society. That's why even you do not want it, but you have to follow that rule. There are many rules. I even do not know many of these things because I grew up in the monastery since very young age, right? The first time come to the West. Then slowly talking with the students, and now the lay life, how they live, what kind of lifestyle I learn from them. Then certain students saying if they wear certain type of the shirt, color, they have to wear certain type of the pants, color. Then certain type of the bag they have to take it. Certain type of the shoes. Nobody punish you, you wear these shoes or you wear this color. But they have to follow that. Why? People, right? The what you call in the social, people will think this, will say these things. So even you do not want, it's not compatible, you don't like them, but you have to follow that way, right? So some lady maybe no problem. I have my student, she has a problem with these pointy shoes, right? That pointy one is very difficult to. She is quite complaining. Then I said, why are you wearing that? You wear something compatible one. No, if you wear certain type of the skirt, you have to wear certain type of those shoes. So that's how they make this rule, and working with it very difficult. She always have these issues with her legs, pain. So then I was thinking, why they cannot come out from something else? Why they have to stay in this kind of environment? Nobody giving them tickets, right? You don't wear this, you are punished, fine. Nobody give ticket. But they have to follow who hold them there? The attachment to their fame and reputation and their social makes them so difficult. Realizing this attachment, how danger put them into very difficult life. Then sometimes when we stay with the people, they say, when they go to the funeral service, they have to have certain type of the dress, right? When they go to the picnic, certain type. They go to the wedding ceremony, certain. They have to wear many different dress for the different, occasion. So then I thinking as a monk, right? I go to the funeral, or go to the prayer hall, or go to the wedding ceremony, wherever, that same robe, right? You don't need to change anything. So go this, you can go whatever, it doesn't matter. So the one person who go with wherever is the same kind of the dress, And there's some people, when they go, they have to change so much. Why they have to do this? Who make this kind of rule? Nobody. It's the attachments. You have to follow with this, many things. So that's how we're realizing these attached to the one's own fame and reputation into their society. That makes them. So therefore, the result of that, they have so much fear, worry. What those other people think about me, that's the main thing. You cannot control their mind, right? You cannot change that mind. But you still worry what they may think about me. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're wearing, is not for you. It's for sake of their mind. What they think nice, I wear that. Right? You have to follow that. As a person, ordinary people, we have so much self-centered attitude. But we have to serve to the others' view. For sake of them, I wear this. For sake of them, I drive this car. For sake of them, I have to go this way. Right? To doing this, why? You're attached to your reputation, fame in the society. That's why. All these issues. When you are really free from attachment, give you tremendous calm, peace, happiness, not that much worry. Even these people think about you as a stupid, you don't care. Even those people think you as one of the smartest, right, from the Buddhists called Buddha, you don't care. If you do not have any attached to this thing, or whatever they think, it's nothing to change you. It's nothing affect you. You are completely freedom, right? That's how the attachments in living in the society, fear, worry, right? Stress, anxiety, most of those problems coming from attached to one's own fame, reputation, something. That makes you so difficult, specific for the mental, so much destruction. So that is why this prayer here, the line saying, sensual pleasures are like salt water. Now, knowing this, how should I really try to stop my attachments? It's the first, all this object, right, which you so attached, like your fame, your reputation, your money, your power, whatever you have, all of these pleasures are called sensual pleasure. It's sensory pleasure. These are not really deep of the mental pleasure. This is sensory level, means surface level of the pleasure. So sensual pleasures are like a salt water, means it never satisfies you. You need more and more, right? More and more. You first, when you do not have any job, you find the job from one company, you're full satisfied, right? Very happy. You work there, you're enjoying. Slowly, now you're looking, I want this position in my company. Now you have another one. Now not the job what you have right now. You are looking some kind of higher position, right? That's why you're fighting, you're working, whatever drama you play for sake of that, reach that higher position. Not getting this position, you're angry, you feel like a loser. Some other people, when they get this position, you feel jealous, you feel angry, right? All kind of pain. Then when you got it, when you got that position, first, very happy. Slowly, you worry. Somebody will take over my position, right? Now there's a challenge, competition, right? So now happiness is no more there. Either you have fear of losing your position, Either you are looking another position there now, you want that. So suffering of not having that position now, instead of happiness of what your position is to experience that happiness, suffering of not having this position. That's how your mind constantly suffer, constantly. There's a simple thing in the psychological perspective. You have one mug, you got it, now in your hand. Happiness of having this mug or suffering of not having other mug, which one you want it, right? This is there, you have. So when you have this happiness of having this mug or suffering of not having this other mug, if you experience suffering of not having this other mug, then you don't have happiness of having this mug. There's no there. So even you have the mug, but you are not happy. That's how we should think. Rich, money doesn't mean they're happy, right? They have this, but experience of joy, the happiness of money, happiness of those material, right? It's not just having them. Just having them doesn't mean they can experience the joy. If the mind is too much greed, too much attachments, as soon as when they got these things, after a few days, after a few weeks, it changed now. Now no more happiness. Now suffering. Suffering of not having this better mark, not having this more money. If you're becoming millionaire, first, happiness of being a millionaire, right? Then it's not going to stay there. It changed. Suffering of not becoming billionaires. Constantly suffer. So therefore doesn't mean millionaire doesn't mean always be happy. They may more suffer than us. They may more suffer because of they still suffering of poor. You know the suffering of poor, what that means? Suffering of poor doesn't mean external thing. Suffering of poor means you want something, you do not have them. You suffer, right? You want it, you're not having them, that's called suffering of poor. So as a millionaire who wants to be billionaire, so not becoming billionaire, suffering of poor. They constantly suffer that way, right? That's how all this externally materialistic, you gaining more, doesn't mean that person becoming more happier. That doesn't mean at all, right? It's all problem started where this attachment. That's why I say it is like a salt water, right? Sensual pleasures are like a salt water. You never satisfy. You need more. You need more and more, right? So that creating mentally more worry, more greed, more kind of pain to not having this. Therefore, they said, the more you indulge, the more thirst increase. More you utilize that, it creates you more thirsty, right? So you have this, next time you want more things, then you want more other things. So you have this, the more you indulge, the more you utilize, the more you have, the more thirst increase, more worry, kind of more need, more. It's never satisfied. That's why you constantly experience suffering of not having them, right? Suffering of not satisfied. How much you have, you're not satisfied. So all of this because of this attachment. Therefore, the next they're saying, abandon at once those things which breed clinging attachments. So abandon at once. So try to abandon these objects which increase you too much attachment and clinging. So when you utilize them, it creates you more attachment. And that will create you more mentally pressure, right? Pressure, worries. So therefore, abandon at once those things which breeds. So when you try to avoid, abandon doesn't mean break it down and throw it out, right? It's just there, this mark, it just served me for, give me the water. That's all. There's nothing to do more than that. So its function is just serve me as a water, right? This dress is just help me to make sure when you're cold, keep you warm, when you're hot, keep you fresh. So that's all. So all of them have their own things. Like a phone, right, is the function of just call what you need to call them. That's all. So when you use that simple way, just you use that limited, not looking something more, then less clinging, less increased attachment. Less attachment, less problem, less fear, less worry. So therefore here saying is, so what we need to do is we need to understanding. So how should we stop attached to these things? It's first understanding all these mundane pleasures are temporary, right? These are just temporary. These are not ultimate happiness. From the Buddhist perspective, it's called suffering of change. Suffering of change, which means at the moment happiness, but slowly it will turn into suffering. It never stay happy or pleasure always. So knowing the nature of all these mundane pleasures are suffering means it's not true happiness. It will turn. Like you get so much power, right? You have power, you're happy. Eventually, you will going to lose this power, right? Never remain there. One day you will going to lose all of these things. So then when you lose each of them, so much suffering, right? So much pain. So this pain of losing the power is come from because of you have power before. When you do not have them, even go out, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be affected. So all these issues, the problem is because of having them, and these are impermanents. It will change. It never ever stays the same way. That is why don't be too attached to these things. No attached doesn't mean don't use it, right? You use without attachment. That's very important. Specific living in this mundane life, you have to survive, right? In order to survive, you have to have money. Otherwise, you have to eat food, you have to go to the clinics and all kind of things. Without money, how can you survive, right? So, you have to have money. In order to have money, you have to work. That's the simple things. So knowing these, utilizing this is just for temporary, for survive, for this that's all. There's nothing beyond there to attach, and all this pleasure, the greed, that makes you problem. You use with a very limited way. You go unlimited, more things you label, and you clinging, attach. And that attachment is the one who creates all these problems. From the Buddhist perspective, circle in samsara, right? As a samsaric people, we are one who circle in samsara by what? By your attachment to samsara pleasure, right? We attach to samsara pleasure. That's why we're stuck into the samsara. Nobody punish us or throw it out into this kind of samsara realms. Our own attachment. Why we attach? Because we really don't understanding these samsara pleasures are suffering. We're still not understanding this. So those are the people like Buddha himself, right? All these are hard beings, supreme beings, who live with the renunciation. They have special wisdom, research, they're understanding something which we do not know. What they know, they're seeing all these mundane pleasures are not the real pleasure. These are just temporary. These are not real pleasure. They know that. That's why they're not attached. So that's why they're looking real happiness means something else. Go different path. That's how they reach, right? Liberation. We are the one who do not know that. Oh, that's the real luxury life, right? Oh, that's the real happiness. Then we struggle. Then we circle in there. We constantly born into samsara. All of this because of our own attachments. It's very interesting, the attachment. There's some text they use, like, for instance, cow dung beetle, right? Dung beetle. Dung beetle, when they see the cow dung, it's the precious, very happy, right? They're going there to stay in the cow dung. As a human being, when they go like that, where they think this is stupid, right? Why are they going to this cow dung? It's dung, it's the cow poop. What's this nice thing? But this little beetle who's so attached to that, for their perspective, what they're seeing is very attractive, very nice. That's how they're going there. That's how they live with these things. So same like us, we are thinking samsara is a very pleasure, very happy. We're going there, right? The enlightened beings seeing things, we are the really stupid. This is not really happiness, but they still. So they cannot do anything, something to change it. How can we change this beetle mind? Say, oh, this is not real true happiness, right? That's the ignorance. So what they need to do, education. That's what the Buddhas teach us, the education, explaining samsara pleasure, all of these are not true. All this instruction, that's the only they can do. As in each individual, we need to learn, study, we need to wake up from that, right? Through our own education. That is why this life, which is called precious life, compared with the dung beetles, for them, in the moment, there's no solution. How can you teach them? Tell them this is not right, this is not attractive, this is how can you tell them, these beetles? Their brain not function that way. But the human beings, we have human intelligence. We can research, we can investigate. That's why from the Buddhist perspective, human beings call very precious life. Because of this human intelligence. So you study, thinking more, analyzing, then you wake up, oh, this is not true happiness. This is just for temporary. And that all of this we're seeing as a nice, beautiful, is not truly that way. So that wake up, it's only through the knowledge. That's called dharma, right? Buddha's dharma, Buddha's teaching. So we study that, we build our knowledge. That's how we grow the wisdom. That's how we change before the ignorance, the attachment, and we attach to something which is not truly beauty, but we somehow that ignorance. Knowledge, they change us. So therefore this text is saying sensual pleasures are like salt water. How much you use these material things, you need more, more, more. And this never gives you satisfaction, full of happiness. You need more, you need more. So when you go to the Himalayan mountain, right, you cross one mountain, there's another mountain behind there. You cross that one, there's another one. There's so many mountains behind there, right? One you finish, there's another one, exactly like that attachment. You work very hard, you get it, you found it, Now you satisfy not, there's another one there. Right? You need this one now. Not having that, suffer. Then you work hard, finally you get it. You happy? No, there's another one you see now. That's why this attachment is like a salt water. You drink it, you take it more, you need more, never satisfied. Because of that, your day-to-day life, main thing is you suffering. Suffering of not having this, suffering of not having that, instead of happiness of having, enjoy. Suffering of not having this, we go to the other side, whole life suffering. That's why it's called salt water. The more you indulge, the more thirst increase. Abandon those things which breed clinking attachment. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. Through understanding on that, then death meditation, right? Impermanence, meditation on impermanence, meditation on suffering of change, suffering of pervasive. All of these are really helpful to reduce your attachments. When your attachment is declining, reducing, you can see the happiness will increase. Less fear, less worry, right? In this life, happiness is increasing. As a Buddhist, a practitioner, it gives you your practice becoming more stronger, goes to the right place. Because now you are seeing the true happiness is freedom of my attachment. I suffer because of too much greed, too much attachment. So having this mental disease, never ever been experienced true happiness. Doesn't matter how much you gain, materialistic, how much you become a rich, powerful person, as long as this attachment, mental disease is there, you constantly suffer, constantly. Suffering never ended. So that's showing material poor doesn't mean suffering more. Materialistic rich doesn't mean more happier life. Right? It's also very much on mental. So there are the poor people who also very much suffering, but they do not have material, but they do have attachments. That's why they suffer. As a poor, upon their too much attachment, more suffer now. Right? So not having material, same time, not attached to them, really peace, really happiness, like those great masters, right? Buddha himself, after he gave up everything, go to choose like a beggar's life. He really experienced true happiness. Materialistic, it's become very poor, right? But he cut his attachment. That's why the peace and the happiness. So therefore, through those reasons, right, we really, if you want to live happy life, material is to not only also work with your attachment. Try to change them, reduce them. When each of these things, when they reduce it, really it change you. Your expectations become much lower. Like sometimes myself, when I seeing the things, people, sometimes they do horrible things and create too much problem in this world, right? And when you hear these things, sometimes it makes you really kind of angry, upset. Then one side you think about renunciation, which means all of those beings are coming from destructive emotions and karma, right? Their causes is destructive emotion and karma, attachment, anger. That's their causes. That's all their circle. All of them born into samsara by destructive emotion. Of course, if you're born out of destructive emotion, negative karma, you have to be like that. Very angry, very greed, too much arrogant, too much creating troublemakers. So you knowing these things, it helps you less feel sadness, because your expectation before, everybody should be nice, everybody should be respect each other's, right? Your expectations high, so when the people not follow that, it makes you upset. When you know all of them are still part of samsara, they are under the influence of destructive emotion, they are under the influence of mental affliction. Of course, they will come that way. So when you're just knowing these things, it really gives you something, calmer, more peaceful, just simple thinkings. So that's how understanding the most of these individual level of our problem in the society, all of them is attachment is the one also very big role creating these issues. So through understanding that, then teaching on death meditation, right? Death meditation, the 3 different steps and 9 reasons, all this been quite often talking about. So these are, and then suffering of change, suffering of pervasive conditioning. These suffering, when you become more aware and more think about this, really tremendous helps you to reduce your attachment. Specific impermanence and death meditations are really, really helpful. Just think about that doesn't mean it will change. Constantly think about this. Be more aware about the specific, the time of death is uncertain. That's specific, right? Think more these things. It really helps to reduce your greed, your attachment, and also helps to reduce your high expectation, and then even things not going well, not that much upset you. The time of death is uncertain. It doesn't matter. One day, even you gain it, even you victory, you were going to lose. The time of change is uncertain. It constantly will change it. So there's nothing to that much upset it. Even I don't get, even I'm not win, not that much upset it. Even you win, not that much exciting, you will go to lose these things. So let's keep you balanced, right? Not that much emotion. So these are the very powerful meditations. Or today the practice number 21 is specific, very much relevant with our day-to-day life. So it's everybody's, we live with this kind of too much attachment, too much greed, too much high expectation. Because of this, we have constantly fear, worry, our mind is constantly disturbing us. So today, through this understanding of practice number 21, we should be aware my attachment, my greed, my high expectation is the one who causing all this problem. Therefore, I need to take the medicine to cure that. So, medicine of what you call the wisdom of impermanence, right? Wisdom of suffering of change, pervasive suffering, renunciation practice. There are so many, practices. 36 ugliness, right? I mentioned many times 36 objects of ugliness. These are also powerful. So all these different meditation apply and try to be aware and mindful, and that definitely helps to reduce your attachments. Okay, so we're going to stop here. Now the conclusion dedication prayer. First we meditate compassion with mantra of compassion mantra. O mani pe me hu, 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 O mani pe me hu. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. Oi te ai nai chi ai tsu, lai mai tu chi, che ai mai tu, doi ve ti ti, dong he, ma lui ta ta, da la mi pa, ta da ji de ji shen la ta wai, trôi quyên đề ta, đề em ba chi chi, lôi trôi quyên đề ta, đề em ba chi chi. Chanju Simcho Rinpoche, Ma Chepa Nam Kijuj, Keba Nyamba Mepaya, Kone Kondo Pewa Sho. May the precious and sublime Bodhicitta not yet born be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forever. Okay, thank you.